Happy Free Friday, y'all. We made it another week. We already made it another week. So I'm going to talk a little bit about thankful. I'm going to share my thankful list. And then because next week is Thanksgiving, as we getting geared up for that next Thursday, a week away, guys. This, you know how the holidays, y'all, even the holidays don't be playing. I would just remember it just being Thanksgiving, last Thanksgiving. The holidays ain't playing, but we thankful for it. You know, we got to figure out a way just to be thankful in the midst of everything, anything that was going on. You know, sometimes we got to do that recap, which of, you know, what could have been, what God spared you from, you know, things that you overcome. Even the things that you overcome, you got to even be thankful for that. Things that you have overcome. You know, if you had to fight, you overcome those things. If you still going through, but you got to look at it, you know what I'm saying, you're going to overcome that too. You know what I'm saying? That too shall pass as well. So, you know, being thankful. You know, as we go into the Thanksgiving season, and also on this Free Friday, I'm going into a weekend. Have a thankful, grateful attitude. You know, get you some Thanksgiving welcoming cheer. You know, find a way to hype your own self up in this season. You know what I'm saying? It's what you. It's also what you also bring to the table. If you bring you need to be bringing cheer. You need to be trying to figure out ways to push through any rough feelings or anything that you could be having. Push through those things. You know, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? You just got to kind of think about ways, how can you be grateful? And this is the best season for it. And as we going into the Christmas holidays and New Year's and all that. So let's start today on this Free Friday thankful list. You know, I got a lot to be thankful for. First and foremost, I'm thankful for my family, you know, my immediate circle, my immediate family, which would be my husband, daughter, bonus son, brother, cousins, friends. You got to be thankful we got a job now these days and time. Y'all see the foolishness that's going on with their trying, and I think all this is about. They're trying to figure out how the government is going to pay for a lot of these financial aid. I think it was all boiled down to the money. How they're trying to classify like what major degree classify as professional. You know, that it all boils down to the money. Because I read something on that 2 weeks ago on like how the barn is going to be different. Say if you're going for Juris Doctorate degree, MD, like your borrowing status is going to be different. Now it's like the government, the federal aid is not going. You only going to get like a certain cap if you going to school for those certain things. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these degrees a lot of these degrees are pushing licensure anyway. So it all boils down to payment. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to cut as much as possible. They're already trying to cut like the government funding, like on insurance, Medicaid, and things like that. It's going to affect financial aid. Financial aid is a form of government funding. So that's why they're trying to classify a lot of these things, make things you can go borrow money for to take up in school. The issue ain't I think the issue is not the major. It's more about what the money they're gonna allow you to borrow. You gotta think. This is how we gotta think. Like how this world system is about to be set up. You know what I'm saying? Like they feel like you shouldn't have to borrow. Like for most colleges, like you probably will come out the whole probably $200,000 for just for going to school. It's like a whole house loan just to get like a degree at some of these colleges. Like you coming out and they figure that okay, we're gonna not try to cap what y'all gonna borrow. You know what I'm saying? If you going to school, probably like they're saying something about social work. So how we're going to dictate how much a person majoring in the social worker, human services, how much they're going to be allowed to borrow. That's pretty much what it is. You know, they're trying to cap it. They're already trying to put that down the pipeline with that. So that's why I personally say, you know, if you're going to major in anything, make sure it's something that you love to do. A lot of times people they're not even working in their field anyway, what they got their degree in. A lot of times you're not really finding out your true purpose and what you really want to do until you actually work on a job and get the experience. So a lot of times you're not going to know that right off, you know, at 17, 18 when you're going to college. But that's why I try to, parents, try to watch your kids closely as to what you see they got a knack in. If you see they're good in certain things, push them to go to school in that so they can actually be utilizing their talents and things that they're actually good at and can make money from. That's what it boils down to. Like, you can't, like how you're trying to dictate what a person need to go to school for. Because so now people want to go to school because people want to work. They're trying to cap that. And what's going to happen, people is going to probably have to pay out the pocket, you know, where the barn is probably going to be way lot different from when I borrowed money for my undergrad and graduate studies. So, you know, things are always changing in the world. So that's why you have to think about whenever when you're going to school now, what that field you're going to school for, how likely will it be for you to get a job in that? And you got to look at stuff like statewide. Don't look at, like, if you just in, like, I'm in South Carolina. You want to look at things like not only just in your county. You want to look at stuff like statewide. You might want to relocate. It might the field that you're going for. It might be very it could be saturated probably like in another city or state. So you want to think broad, think ahead. You don't want to think narrow. Like, okay, I'm gonna go to school like for human services. So, you know, maybe whatever area you in, they might not have a great need for it. You want to go to school for whatever is a great need, and you have to look broad. You know what I'm saying? Think broad, think wide whenever you are trying to pursue higher education. Because they capping on a lot of stuff, like how much money the bank is going to lend out. If you kind of see it goes back down to economics. If you see, okay, they capping how much money you can borrow, they capping how much you can take out your own bank account a day. Like, you can't, I think you can pull, some banks allow you to pull 1,000. You probably can't even pull 1,000 out the machine. You know, you can go inside the bank and get it, but it's a certain cap of how much you can borrow with your own money. So you think about what the world is, what things is heading to, the cost of things, inflation, stuff like that. There will be changes, like in the barn system, going to school, you know what I'm saying, and things like that, because they're trying to limit. You got to think about it. Some people, some people have scholarships. Some people have wealthy families. They can pay out the pocket for their kids' education. But the ones who coming from working class families, who coming from families, like they're barely making themselves. So a lot of those kids, they're going to school, they're using financial aid. So, you know, that's a lot. You got probably a small out the pie. A small percentage of people can pay for their kids' education flat out. They can drop that whole 4-year tuition or whatever that is. A lot of people can't. So that's why it boils down to the money. That's why they're trying to cap on what they gonna pay for somebody to go to school in certain areas or fields. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't. That ain't even like, what kind of world is gonna look like if everybody go to school to be a doctor, if everybody go to school to be a social worker, if everybody go to school to be a teacher. You know what I'm saying? We need variety in this world. Everybody born with different gifts and talent. Everybody can't go to school just for one thing, one field. So that ain't even feasible of what's going on, but they are capping. They're trying to cap. So y'all just keep that in mind. You know, if you're trying to seek higher education, I will say this, you want to seek something, go for something that you know you are going to love. Especially if you got to borrow money for your education, to fund your education, or you going to be doing that job, if you're going to be on a job for 7-8 hours a day, you want to be on a job that's something that you love to do. You don't want to be wasting time on a job anywhere, a career that you don't even love doing that thing. That's a waste of time. You got to pay that money back. If you don't pay that money back, that stuff goes on your credit. It's just a whole hot mess. So try to think about what is it that I really, really, really want to do, and I can also sustain and take care of myself. So I mean, y'all got to we got to think broad on this thing. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be this times to come. A lot of these rules and stuff is affecting a lot of people. So that's why you got to think smart, out the box, and be God led. Don't go into a career field because that's something your cousin did, your mama did, whatever. Go in something that you're going to love, you're good at, you have a knack for. You know what I'm saying? So if you do have to borrow, at least you're paying for something worthwhile. If you do have to borrow, there's such thing as good debt, bad debt. I don't like no debt. You know what I'm saying? But at least you borrowing, you paying for something worthwhile. You got something out of it. You're not going to school just to be going to school. You didn't get anything. You didn't learn anything. You know what I'm saying? It really time out for that. And the government, they're capping on any way of the borrowing system. So, so let's choose wisely. Okay, thankful. We practicing being thankful, guys. I'm about to hurry and get out of here. Thankful. This is how you can practice a gratitude attitude. Create or recite things that you're thankful for this weekend. What are some stuff that you're thankful for? What are some stuff some bullet you dodge? Some things you change, some growth. Celebrate that. Okay, reflect back on January and count your blessings. Count your blessings, guys. You got to. That's how you keep your hope up. That's how you keep your mood up. That's how you keep, that's how, you know what I'm saying, you keep a positive affect, positive attitude. Okay, be thankful of what you overcome. Thanksgiving should not just be about the food only. Thanksgiving Day should be about how grateful you are. What are some stuff you trying to work towards, manifest? What are some things that you're very, very happy and pleased about? Let your heart be consumed in that on Thanksgiving Day and this upcoming weekend. On Thanksgiving Day, try not to speak on regret, sorrow, stuff like that. Throw that out the window. On that day, have a happy heart, you know what I'm saying, on that day. Think about stuff that make you happy on that day. If you eat you a good meal, celebrate with some friends, family. Think happy thoughts. Think thankful thoughts. Do that intentional, you know what I'm saying, on I'll say upcoming to this upcoming week. This weekend, get geared into Thanksgiving spirit. Do that. Go get go treat yourself to a fall latte or a favorite fall food, maybe some fall colors. You know what I'm saying? People, you want to reward yourself. Go get you some fall decor, anything. You want to have a Thanksgiving heart mentality, no sorrow. Try to just focus on what I'm thankful for. And if you can't think about that, think about how did you overcome something? How did God shine his light on you? What are some things that how have you been helpful to somebody else? What have you done to help somebody? Think about things like that. Create that type of mindset and positivity as you go into the Thanksgiving season, guys, and into Christmas and New Year's, all in one, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and head off, guys. So that's what we're gonna do. We're going to have a thankful, grateful attitude. Practice those things. Practice speaking positive over yourself every day. You might not hear from somebody else, so don't wait on somebody else. You do it. You have some type of positive mantra script that you can say over yourself every day. Things that, you be the person be the friend that you want. You be the person that offer compliments or pay it forward. Or be the friend that's helpful, or the person that you want, how you want to be treated. That's how you should carry yourself. You know, that's what you should do, guys. Let's be helpful, not hurtful, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and head off. Appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Y'all, another thing too, like the stuff that's going on, these changes or whatever that's going on in the world, please don't allow that to affect your mood. Don't allow that to make you feel some type of way about you, you know, because you know the thing, what thing is, we got to keep in mind this was going to happen. You know, this was going to happen, especially if you're a type of person and you believe like in the end time and things like that. The world is falling. The world is falling. It came in hot. You know what I'm saying? It came in hot. So you got to keep your hopes up. You got to stay grounded. You got to stay like I say, prayed up. You got to make sure your goals, everything is like whatever you're doing, stay focused on that. Stay focused on your goals. Stay focused on what it is that you've been called to do. Focus on the positive things. That's what I'm trying to say. Focus on the positive things. Don't get into controversies, argument. That's not going to change nothing. Be about a person of solution, not a problem. You know, we got to keep those things in mind as we go through our everyday to day walk. If it's something you can do to help somebody, help somebody. If it's something you can do to send some type of positive cheer, do that. Be helpful, not hurtful, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and head off, guys. Thanks for watching. See y'all next video. Happy weekend, Thanksgiving weekend, y'all. Let's get it. Let's go.